Hey folks, how's everybody doing? Had to do some work on the aircon today because it starts leaking, and what it does, it leaks here inside the room and gets everything wet. So basically, one of the problems was this thing right here, the cage was installed perfectly horizontal with no slope. So that was one issue in itself. It just needs a little bit of slope tilted back. So I got the Kuyas over here. I said, hey, step one, get the aircon out. We're gonna clean it like it's brand new. Step two, rip that thing down. Step three, we'll use this here bed as a temporary support while we build a new support for the aircon. And the other issue was this thing here was made for a small aircon, and the ones I got with the inverters, they're real long. And so what was happening is like this much of the aircon was sticking out on the inside. It's not properly installed. And we're gonna try to fix that problem with me at the helm. All right, so I got my man on the station here. Look how filthy that thing is just from the top. He's gonna start breaking it down, and we're gonna clean this thing from top to bottom and get it back into tip-top operating condition. This thing's been in here for about 6 months. And this is actually the newest one. So coming up on 6 months it's been in there. And I'm going to show you how dirty it is because, folks, now part of the problem is we live right by the road. And part of the problems, you know, there's been no rain, it's been dusty as could be. And we have to change that filter, not change it, but we have to clean that filter over there about every 3 to 4 days. If you let it go for a week, it's totally clogged. So that's what the purpose of this video is, to fix the aircon. And this gentleman right here knows what he's doing. Take everything apart, and it's got some type of chemical cleaner right there. And we're going to clean this thing and make it look like brand new, which it was brand new about 6 months ago. All right, there you go. Got the front off of that guy. You see, we had to put the mattress, because I took the beds out. The mattresses are on the ground. So when the aircon leaks, it just gets in the mattress. Now we got a mess on our hands. So we're correcting a problem today. This gentleman's done HVAC work before. Sort of a family member on Flo's husband's side. But you can see how dirty that coil is. And trust me, we keep the filter clean all the time. You have to, but this thing is so clogged up. That's part of the problem as well. And again, it's only about a 6-month-old aircon unit, and it's just one of them things where I asked Flo, I said, hey, you know, tell your husband to come over and help me get this aircon out, and I'm going to clean it. And she said, no, his cousin or brother, I'll have to figure out the exact relation. So he knows, he works on aircons. I said, get him over here. And sure enough, here they are. So he knows exactly what he's doing. All right, this is the exact same unit. And I'm gonna show you what the problem is with this one too. It's too far inside the room. Okay, they didn't make the hole big enough. Y'all saw that video where it made a huge mess. That thing is sticking inside the room 6 to 7, maybe 8 inches too far. It should be all the way back. But because the hole is too small, that's as far back as I can get it. But hey, Rome wasn't built in a day, so we're gonna work on, I mean, this one's not leaking. This one's leaking outside because it does have a proper slope. Got a little safety loop there, but it's not right. And I'm not complaining, but I'm just explaining to you everyday life and what happens when you get fishermen who their primary profession is they're fishermen, to come install appliances or aircon units. This is what you get. And of course, I was drinking at the time, a lot more passive and let things go. But when you sober up, stop drinking and start thinking, then you're like, that's not right. I know that's not right. Let's fix everything right. That's what I'm doing, tightening some things up around the crib. Got Grandma here folding clothes. Grandma was in the village all weekend. Well, not all weekend. She went, Saturday night, all day Sunday. Just got back this morning. So glad to have Grandma back. I'm sure she enjoys some tenderoni time with Grandpa. I think it's just so dirty, folks. It just ain't good. But again, part of it's because we live by the road. Part of the problem is it hasn't rained in months, so everything is so dry and dusty. But like, to contrast this thing to my aircons in Thailand, the ones in Thailand will go 6 months, and you clean the filter and it's barely dirty. But here in the Philippines, most places I've lived, you have to keep an eye on that filter right there. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it's just goobity goo. It's like a mud pie right there. See if I can get a better look. Let's get in there. It's just like a mud pie. That's why she's not draining out the back. And so if we're gonna continue to go like we were going, I'm gonna have to get this gentleman over here probably, like, I say every 4 months. Just about every 4 months, get him over here and clean it out. And we've had a bunch of ants. Yeah, we've had a bunch of ants, problem with ants. And they've made a home up in the aircon somehow or another. Yep. So anyhow, this gentleman's got his work cut out. But we will probably be employing him every 3 to 4 months to clean these units, to deep clean them. There's just no way around it. Yeah, look at that. There's nothing. It's mud pie in there. All right, I'm just talking to the gentleman. He went to school for this. So he's school trained. He knows exactly what he's doing. And this is just another lesson. Initially, when they showed up, Fatima didn't explain, hey, the guy knows exactly what he's doing. I didn't realize he's a technician, because my first experience, I'm dealing with fishermen installing this guy. So now I've got the right man for the job, and he's local. I'll have him on speed dial. And again, he's pseudo family, so it all worked out today. And another thing worked out. I just got a text from Converge. When you cancel your service, if you've got any refund or thing coming to you, it takes a couple months or so. So I just now got a message that I got like 3,000 pesos to go pick up that I'd forgotten all about. So today's like Christmas for me. Showing Fatima how dirty it is. Take a look in there, baby. Now get down in there and look behind that white thing. You see all that mud in there? Like we're making chocolate milkshakes in there. And why is Forrest G rocking his sister's pink shorts again? It is hot here, folks. It's a heat wave here in Southeast Asia, the Philippines, Thailand. It's like record heat. I don't know record, but it is putting a damper on normal operations here. It's so hot. I'll pull this front coil out, see how dirty she is. But somewhere there's a damn ant nest. Look at that. I'm really ashamed to show you all this video. But hey, real life ain't pretty. It ain't perfect. Oh, he's taking this thing apart just like it came out of the factory. You got that one end over there, don't want to cooperate. There you go. Just had to lift up a little bit. I don't know about y'all, this is soothing. Sort of like watching a dude pressure wash his driveway. I feel kind of bad, but I don't, because there's always something lost in translation. But when they first showed up, I'm micromanaging. I'm like, look, I'm running this show. This is what I want, step by step by step. because I didn't want a repeat of the fisherman's install. And nothing against the fishermen, folks. They're fishermen, right? But sometimes, especially out in the province, when you try to get somebody to build something or fix something, what have you, it's not their primary expertise. So anyhow, I didn't want a repeat of that, so I'm like micromanaging. And then, so noisy, buddy. I'm micromanaging. And so I was like, take that thing out. So they took it out. I said, now we're going to clean it. And while they went to get the cleaner and some tools, I ripped that thing off the wall. I should have showed y'all my superhero strength of ripping it off the wall. But I ripped that thing out of the wall. And so now I have a plan of action to get that thing back operating by tonight. I probably won't have the permanent mount by tonight. It's going to be some welding involved. But I'm going to have that thing set, safe, and a temporary mount. But when the gentleman went out there and got a screwdriver and started taking stuff apart, I was like, hey man, how did you learn this? You know, did OJT? He's like, no, I went to school. Well, okay. So it's just one of those things when I say, oh, he knows how to do that. Okay, well, come on over. Let's try him out. All they had to do was say, hey, he went to whatever technical university and graduated on the HVAC program or what have you. Not complaining again. I'm just telling you real life here. It's no different anywhere in Southeast Asia. You go to build a house, and somebody brings you a guy that says, oh, this guy knows how to build a house. Well, what's his primary profession? A lot of times they're farmers. A lot of times here they're fishermen. You know, that's their main profession, their expertise, but they can also build houses, or they can also pour concrete. They can also install air conditioning units. And let me show you what I mean on this one here about it sticking in too far. These units are brand new and they're inverters, and for whatever reason they're extra long. They're like a rectangle. They're more rectangular. They're longer than the typical AC unit. So the problem is this thing should be like somewhere right in here, like almost flush, not flush, but right here against the wall. And it's sticking in here an extra 6 inches. Why? Because they didn't make the hole big enough. It wouldn't go far enough into the mount. And this is what we got. Now luckily this thing does not leak, but it's not the optimal way that the thing is supposed to be installed, and it also looks funny because it's sticking in here a little bit too far. And one of the reasons it's sitting up is because it has these brackets underneath it that are supposed to like go on the far side of the wall. Now it's sitting on the brackets, and that's what you get when you get fishermen to install appliances. All right folks, now we get the water hose on this thing. Taking a water hose to it and get all this mud up out of here. Look at that coming out of there. That's pure nastiness right there. All right, he's got, look at that. That thing's just cleaning it up nicely. See if I can get a little bit lighter for you here. There you go. Pretty dirty, huh?
Yeah.
My goodness. Look at all that mess coming out of there. My gosh. Again, that's soothing. It's like watching somebody pressure wash. Look at that. Folks, this thing is going to be like brand new. That's going to look like brand new when this gentleman gets done with it. Be a brand new unit again. So that's a huge problem with how dirty it is. And then all we got to do is get a new mount with a little bit of slope. Look at that. Pal's taking a nap. Ladies, what happened to the aircon going on in here? Did somebody turn it off?
No. Ano si Jimboy ba kung di daw ko na tumayo o yun ninyo ang katungkon magbalik yapon ko na to magto. Tong metal dito luyo ba? Ni daw to ipaayo to siya kay kung one second.
So this aircon just kicked off by itself, but what I've noticed lately, we've had some power surges, knock on wood. We've had 0 brownouts, but like listening to the fans, like the fans will go down, way down on low. So we've had some power surges lately, but luckily never lost power. Have you had any brownouts, Flo, over at your spot? Nope. We're pretty good here in northern Cebu. Knock on wood.
But in the village always.
Yeah. Still in the village, got brownouts.
It's in the middle of the month.
Middle of the month?
Yeah, because 18 like naman. 18 like that.
Why? Why on the
Because
18th?
It's payment. It's already near in payment time.
So people don't pay?
No. That's
We don't know why they do that.
You don't know why, but
Almost payment, dear. It's always run out.
or maybe they do a brownout just to remind you,
Oh
hey,
yeah, just to remind
It's a reminder.
people that it's near in the payment almost already.
Yeah.
Almost na ba?
remind everybody, hey, if you don't pay, this is going to be permanent.
But here in Dinbantayan, if you're near in the municipality, there's a brownout, but sometimes only maybe in a year, like 5 times, like that only.
We haven't had one brownout since we moved to the greenhouse.
Yeah.
But remember across the street,
But
we were
there-
sweating.
One time, din 2 times.
2 times.
Yeah. All right, folks. Now I didn't show you this one before, but it's basically like the other one, sticking out. Now that's how it's supposed to look, right? Now it doesn't have a nice, pretty skirt around it, but now it's the appropriate depth. Now it doesn't look like something crazy, big old tick on the wall. Now it looks nice. So this thing is clean. It is clean as can be. It's like brand new. And let me show you my temporary redneck setup outside. And it's not OSHA approved, so don't try this at home. Okay, now I got a little safety gate here. A little safety gate, keep the kids out. Try not to break my neck. All right, let me come down here and show you. Boom, shakalaka laka. There you go. Look how nice and clean that unit looks, folks. It's like a brand new air conditioner, like the day I got it out of the box. And again, the problem is this cage was too shallow. So I used brute strength and the coconut chopper to get that thing off the wall. And just a temporary setup here. I've got it braced with this bed and got like dummy corded to those nails up there. So it might not look pretty, but as you can see, the weight's supported on this frame, and then the secondary backup weight is supported there. It's tied together with a nice piece of fiber optic line. It ain't going nowhere. Okay, it might not look pretty, but trust me, it's combat effective for a temporary stopgap. Now, you can see that thing is leaking water like crazy coming out of that hot room. I mean, it is just going to work like turbocharged. And I don't know if I gave you a good look inside there when he was putting it back together, but trust me, it's brand new. It is like brand new. So there you go. Now see, one of the problems that these gentlemen didn't understand is that these brackets, you see how they're supposed to go right there? They tried to push the thing in from the inside. That was their problem. And once I realized those brackets were a problem, I said, gentlemen, we've got to push the thing in from the outside. And that's what we did. So now you've got all of this space right here on the outside where, like one of those vents, that front vent was inside the wall, not allowing all the equipment to cool properly. But again, what do fishermen know about thermodynamics and air conditioning? Next to nothing. So there's my temporary setup right there. Like I said, don't try this at home. This is not OSHA approved. But hopefully tomorrow we're getting the welder over here and some new angle iron, and we'll build an appropriate cage. But there you go, folks. Boom, shakalaka laka. So I put all this right here where the kids can't come past here. Everybody relax. We keep an eye on them. It's just for one night till we get this thing shored up tomorrow. That will be OSHA approved. Oh, he's drinking again. Now, number one, I don't drink Red Horse. That's from months ago. And so are those Sandmig Lights. There's a couple more Red Horses around here that don't belong to me. Belong to Tai Tai. So no more having to put the mattress out in the morning where it dries. When that darn thing starts leaking. You're probably wondering, how much did I pay the gentleman? And he was here, I don't know, maybe 3 hours. 2 to 3 hours worth of work. I gave him 1,000 pesos. Now, for some of you, you might be saying, oh man, you overpaid him. I only gave him 500 pesos. Folks, a lot of people here in this country make, less than 500 pesos a day. Now, not to sit here and argue what the minimum wage is or at the current time, but if a girl goes down to Cebu City to work as a maid, which is basically 6 days a week, a lot of them are making 6,000 pesos a month, working every day as a housekeeper. And what is that? Let's see, 6,000 PHP to USD. That's $103.97. With the exchange rate. So they're making a little over $100 a month, just for reference. So I gave them 1,000 pesos, which is $17.38. So less than 20 bucks. I was happy with what I gave him. He's very happy for getting a quick 1,000 pesos in his pocket. And I asked the ladies, I said, hey, what? And this is what you'll experience. This is the other reason I'm talking about it. A lot of times you'll ask people, hey man, how much do I owe you? If you're new to the country and you're not sure what to pay them or what the going rate is, if you just ask somebody, hey man, what do I owe you? Well, in the States, they're going to give you a price and give you a bill or what have you. Well, over here, you'll hear this reply. Oh, it's up to you, sir. And if you have no idea what to pay somebody for, a trike ride, a taxi ride, fixing your aircon, you're just at a loss, right? You're like, no, man, come on, just, give me a fair price. What I owe you? Oh, it's up to you, sir. So I know that happens a lot, especially up here in the province. Everybody's so shy. And this gentleman here is Upal's uncle. So Upal's father, that's his brother that just did the work. So he's, like I said, he's family. But anyhow, he probably would have been happy with 500. But you know what he did for me, folks? He solved several problems at a moment's notice on his off day, because he has a full-time job, doing AC work. Where does he work? Works at a hospital somewhere, doing HVAC maintenance. So on his off day, he shows up literally within an hour or two. When I found out, he's Johnny on the spot. We're sitting here wrestling this damn mattress out there to dry because the bedroom turned into a lake last night. And you have to turn the aircon off. So what's your options? Either deal with the cleaning up a mess, or B, sweat to the oldies all night, or C, take some action. So this gentleman solved a bunch of problems for me on a moment's notice, over-delivered on what my expectations were, and I was so damn happy. I would have gave him 2,000 or 3,000 pesos, but that's just going overboard. So anyhow, that's what I gave him. 1,000 pesos, he's happy, I'm happy, and I said, hey man, whenever you're ready to come back, we got one more to do. He's like, all right, no problem. Next off day, he'll come up and make another quick 1,000 pesos. Get this one cleaned up, and then every 4 months, for a few hours of work, he's got some extra spending money in his pocket. So leave it in your comments what you would have paid or what you do pay in your region for somebody to come, clean a window unit. So everybody else can just get some type of baseline for how much everyday life costs here living in the Philippines, right? Little things like that you might not think to budget in, but I'm telling you, you saw it. That thing was a mud hole. 6 months old. Thailand, once a year. Once a year, I have those things clean. Once every 6 months, I clean the filters, and they're not even that dirty. So, different environment, different expenditures. And there. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm just another real life video here in the Philippines. Thank y'all for being a subscriber. Thank you for everything you do. We certainly appreciate it. See you guys on the next one. And peace out, my friends. From this cat right here, who's going to be extra cool tonight. Oh, by the way, when I turned that thing on, you could tell. It was like night and day what that thing was pumping out. That thing's going to hang icicles on the ceiling tonight, I promise you.